Alright YouTube, so we are back, of course, to talk about some Final Fantasy VII / Remake, and today we're doing something a bit different. I was going to do a different video today, but actually was scrolling through Reddit and came across a post about there being a Final Fantasy VII Easter egg within Elden Ring, so I was like, we gotta talk about that, we gotta cover that, of course. Elden Ring is a game I plan on getting. It'll be a waste of $60 or however much I eventually pay for it. FromSoft games are just not my thing. I suck at them. I'm terrible at them. I don't know how to get good. But for some reason, I want to buy it. I don't know why. I played a good chunk of Dark Souls 2 back in the day, and I played very little of Bloodborne. I beat, like, the first big boss that you fight on, like, the bridge. I couldn't even tell you exactly where it's at. That's my extent of FromSoft games. I'm fucking terrible. I played, like, the second boss in Bloodborne. It's like this father, whatever his name is, within that graveyard. I only played him the one time. He beat my cheeks in. The problem with the FromSoft games is they're, like, trial and error games, right? Like, you're not really meant to just beat everything on your first try. You're meant to get your ass kicked, learn from the experience, try a new tactic every time. I just don't think I have the patience for that anymore. I don't invest that much time into video games anymore like that, where I want to play the same boss over and over and over. And some people attempt this shit 20, 30 times in a row. I just don't really care. There's a time where I enjoyed that sort of challenge in games. It's not my bag anymore. Like, if I'm trying this over and over and I just keep failing, I'm just like, man, I could be playing a different game that's a little more chill, a little more relaxed, instead of just stressing myself out. There might come a day sometime down the road where I actually want to get into the Soulsborne games and try to beat all of them or something like that, but as of right now, it's whatever. Anyways, on to the Easter eggs. So first and foremost, shout out to SinX7 on the Remake subreddit for sharing this. The location within Elden Ring is called Church of either Irith or Irith, which is obviously very similar to Aerith. It's like a letter or two short of that, but it's also a church. But also, once you get into the location, there's a patch of yellow flowers where they would be within the Sector 5 church, like opposite the front door. So I think it's very clearly meant to be some sort of nod or Easter egg to Final Fantasy VII, which is pretty cool. I think with something like this, it's not even a debate because the video that I'm showing in the background and also the Reddit post were labeled as like a possible Easter egg. But the thing is, dude, it could have been a plethora of different things. For starters, the location could have been called anything else. It didn't have to be a church. It didn't have to have a name that's very similar to Aerith's name. Also, once you get inside the church, there could have been flowers in a different spot, or no flowers at all, or the flowers could have been a different color other than goddamn yellow. So I think it's 1,000% an FF7 Easter egg. There's too many coincidences, if you want to call them that. There's too many similarities to point towards Aerith, Sector 5 church, the flowers within the church, all that other shit that it has to be intentional. But actually, the other interesting bit that came from this particular post on Reddit is we had Crimson 7 Phantom, haven't shouted them out in a while, mentioned that there's an enemy in the game that seems to be a mix of Cait Sith and Red 13, which sounds kind of crazy, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. So what we have here is an enemy called the Erdtree Burial Watchdog, which is a cat that you're fighting, but it has a crown. The crown's not on its head, it's around its neck. They obviously take the FromSoft liberties to make it look badass. And it has a red cape with a flaming tail. Like, if this isn't meant to be a mix of Cait Sith / Red 13 from FF7, it's a very goddamn derivative. The way I look at stuff like this is how many of the similarities or coincidences are there, right? Because similar to the church Easter egg we just looked at, there could have been a different color cape. There could have been no cape at all. There could have been a different color crown. The crown does appear to be gold. It's kind of hard to tell because a lot of it's lit up by fire. But there could have been no crown at all, and there didn't have to be a flaming tail. There's just too many similarities and coincidences to FF7 that it has to be intentional. But why I think this is pretty cool is the Elden Ring's only been out for like a couple of days. We've already found 2 Easter eggs to FF7 that are in reference to 3 of the main party characters. Cait Sith, Red 13, Aerith. It makes you wonder if there's not a Tifa, Barret, Vincent, Cid, Cloud Easter egg somewhere out there. Maybe a Sephiroth Easter egg. Something like that somewhere within the world of Elden Ring. Whatever the name of the fucking map is. I personally feel like there's got to be some more out there because Cait Sith is kind of like a deep track, right? That's a weird character to reference, right? Red 13 makes a little bit of sense because he's pretty popular. Aerith is obviously hugely popular when it comes to FF7, so that one makes all the sense in the world. But to like reference Cait Sith is super random, and maybe that's the point too. Maybe these are the only 2 Easter eggs. I don't know. But my dudes, that's going to be pretty much the video. Obviously, links to everything I use in the video will be in the description below. Full credit to those people. What are your thoughts, my dudes? Have you played Elden Ring? Do you plan on getting Elden Ring? Do you play from software games? Are you good at them? Have you ever gotten good? Do you ever plan on getting good? Am I overusing this fucking old meme? My dude, that's going to be the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys already want to see more Final Fantasy VII / Remake Easter egg, potentially in other games videos in the future, if that ever ends up happening. Turn on notifications. Follow me on Twitter, @davidbusiness. I'm my Discord. Links to my networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Rogaine, or leave it like Cobain.